Right, so name the gentleman. One sentence summary. Mickey wants to sell his business, but the transaction is complicated by crimes. Could you beat the villain? Could I beat Matthew Berger, who's the gangster man that Mickey wants to sell his business to? And so, unsurprisingly, uh, Matthew is the guy who is trying to, drive down the price of Mickey's business with various crimes. Yeah, I could beat him. I'm sure it takes like, book smarts and brains and stuff to become the head of a criminal empire. But Matthew does not seem to have very good people judging abilities, let's say. Mickey shows him, oh, this is where I grow my drugs and stuff. And then, like, shortly afterwards, Mickey, one of those sites is robbed. Now, even if it's not the exact same site, which I don't think it was, a smart person would say, well, you know what, like, yesterday I told this criminal man, this is how I run my business. I'm not going to tell you the sites, but I am going to tell you that, all of them are on the land of a rich person that I know. And then, like, oh, mysteriously, one of those sites gets robbed. Who's it going to be? Try explaining that when you're in jail. That's not going to work. Point is, yeah, I could beat him using my brains, or failing that, he wears glasses like me. I'd just take mine off and then punch him in the face, and then he's got no glasses. Two blind people. There you go. How do you improve the film? I feel this was slightly overwritten. The eloquent nature of Mickey and Matthew's conversations, obviously, I assume, meant to illustrate they're both equally as smart and powerful and drug dealery and stuff. But when 70% of the characters feel like they're trying to out-talk Russell Brand, it does get a bit wearing. Also, Mickey and Matthew are both rich American drug dealers, and they've got names that start with an M. And I swear Eddie Marsden's character was called Mike as well. Why are there so many characters with similar names? There are other letters to begin names with. Yeah, I don't know if Matthew's attempts to, or like the reveal of Matthew being behind the attacks on Mickey's business was supposed to be a twist or not. It wasn't very twisty. Also, the reveal that the Russian kid who died is connected to the mob seemed like kind of obvious as well, even though it was kind of like, oh, surprise, because we saw him at the rich school with his rich dad. It's a gangster film. Of course, the rich Russian dude is going to be a gangster. There's a shot of a man in a kitchen, and then it cuts to Lord George, the triad man, watching the horse racing or whatever. Mickey comes in, has a talk with him, and then we see Lord George is drinking tea. So you're thinking, oh, well, the guy in the kitchen's probably poisoned his tea or something. And then that does happen. Although, admittedly, I was surprised by the projectile nature of the vomit in that scene. And then it's like, haha, bloody, if I can get you in your own kitchen, I can get you anywhere. And then there was like another shot of the man like pouring poison in the tea. It was like, well, we already bloody assumed that, so don't show him to us in the first place. But in that scene as well, Mickey really needs to get off his high horse about like, you're a drug dealer, but you're a bad drug dealer, and I'm a good drug dealer. You're all drug dealers, mate. Colin Farrell plays a guy called Coach in this film, and I wasn't sure if he was teaching people to box. He was teaching lads, good lads, bloody doing crimes and stuff, but they're good lads. All right. Anyways, and I think their gang was called the Toddler Gang or something like that. That's ridiculous. Anyways, so it looked like he was teaching them to box. He looked to be a boxing gym kind of guy. And in the gym, I think it said like no guts or glory. No guts, no glory, like 50 times. But anyway, he's teaching them to box. But then when they're in a little fisty fight, they seem to be doing flips and stuff. And then in the, I believe, drill music video that they put on the internet, they were also doing flips and stuff. So was he teaching them how to do flips and stuff as well? Was he also a choreographer? I don't know what's going on. Speaking of that music video, it was shown to be on a website, and then later it was mentioned that it was on YouTube, but the website wasn't YouTube. they put on some balaclavas when they broke into Mickey's site and they're going to go robbing it, and then they walked down some stairs and immediately like whacked off their balaclavas and like, wow, this is an awful lot of drugs, guys. And then, you know, some blokes turned up and they pulled the mask back on. If you're going to do crimes and you got masks on, just wear them all the time. Take them off when you get home. Speaking of the dudes who are defending Mickey's drug lab, what did they comically call each other in one at a time? One of the blokes who was trying to defend Mickey's drug lab, when he's telling Mickey and Raymond about it, he was like, hey, whoever trained those guys, he knew what he was doing. Why not compliment the dudes who actually did the fighting and stuff? Maybe they taught themselves. This film has plenty of Guy Ritchie style banter about, I assume, the insecurities of modern male heterosexuality, and I guess it's satire. Or he just really thinks penises are funny. One or the other. But anyway, everyone's having a bit of banter. And then Hugh Grant's character, Fletcher I believe, takes it too far. I'm pretty sure he described a crime. I was like, oh no, it's not a joke anymore, that's horrible. And you've wasted a hanky. Speaking of Hugh Grant, there were two parts in the film which screamed to me like this is the author or the writer talking. The first was Hugh Grant's character's obsession with film during his mildly amusing narration of the events. And he was trying to sell a screenplay to the gangsters, even though I assume they don't make films. If they do, it wasn't mentioned. And the screenplay was called Bush. And I looked into it and I was right, that was one of the working titles of this film. Anyway, so there was that. Then the other part is where Colin's training these lads. He's good lads, bloody good lads. They've had some hard times, but they're doing good now. But they're also doing crimes. Colin's talking to one of the lads, and one of the other lads calls him a name. And the first lad is all like, oh, that's horrible. And Colin says, oh, well, he's not calling everyone of your ethnic background one of those. He's just saying that you are one of those. And also, he's probably just saying it as a term of affection. That, to me, sounded a lot like someone making excuses for the terrible language that they used in the film. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., the film, there was a poster in the background of a scene where Hugh Grant is trying to sell his film rights to a film company. And yeah, Hugh Grant was in that, and it was directed by Guy Ritchie. Funny. But I don't think that film did very well, so why are you bringing attention to it? Raymond, the gangster man, announces that, you know, he has actually been one step ahead of Hugh Grant this entire time, because when Hugh Grant thought he was spying on Mickey, bloody Raymond was actually spying on Hugh Grant. Yeah, I guess that makes sense, apart from in the scenes where Hugh Grant has been taking pictures of Raymond. So, like, did he have to tag someone in to spy on Hugh Grant whilst Hugh Grant was spying on him? Or what's going on? Anyways, what if Hugh Grant had a second pair of shoes and the tracking device put in his shoes just sat, you know, in his cupboard or whatever under his stairs for 24 hours or something? That's a waste of his time. Also, the film implies that Hugh Grant breaks into Raymond's house, probably as a gangster man should get better security, but there you go. He does the blackmail, blah, 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 blah. And then the next morning, it's revealed that Raymond actually had the upper hand this whole time. And it's implied by the very sensible question, like, is it steak for dinner and steak for breakfast? Because he cooked steak last night and now he's cooking steak now. Too much steak, mate, it's bad for you. Anyways, was it the next day? If so, how did they have time to, you know, go get Hugh Grant's backup evidence and all that sort of fun stuff and follow him with the tracking device that you put in his shoe? Or was it like 72 hours later? Like, if you're going to remove a body from someone's house, number one, probably call them in advance, like Raymond suggested. You know, so they can let you in the house. Yeah, that's just polite. And number two, don't be moving bodies without someone's permission. Suddenly disappears. They're going to think some sort of undead uprising is occurring. Raymond is played by Charlie Hunnam, I think that's how you pronounce his name, and he is 39 years old. And there's a bunch of people playing teenagers, and he's giving them stick for, it's not how it was in my day. One of those teenagers was Elliot Sumner, who is the daughter of Sting, and a lady, I assume. And she's 29 years old. Looked into it. But like, what are you going, bloody, back in my day, you're a decade apart. And, I'm not saying she looked ancient, but none of the people there really looked like they were that much younger than him. Right, so Matthew, the gangster man, the bad one in the context of the film, if he was as smart as, he seems to think he is, he would know there's a very obvious loophole to the I'm going to take a pound of flesh from you. Because it's in The Merchant of Venice. We're like, all right, fine, you can take a pound of flesh, but we've not agreed that you can take any blood. So if you can take a pound of flesh without spilling a drop of blood, that's fine by me. Or he's like really rich, just like chop off your hand and get a cool robot one. Yeah, what's the problem there? Also, they like lock him in a freezer and say, look, you are going to give us some bloody money, do a wire transfer or whatever, use your phone to do it, and then we'll let you out the freezer. Best hurry up so you don't get frostbite. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm definitely doing a bank transfer. Just texting my mates, come and save me, I'm in trouble. As per the trailer, which ruined a couple of things in this film, there's a murder or an accidental death happens, and the gangster people, they need some teenagers' phones. Number one, if you're going to get a phone to avoid evidence of you're doing crimes being out there, probably don't shoot a gun in a residential area. Probably going to attract attention. Number two, get the teenagers to unlock the phones once you've acquired them by whatever means, so you can see the information inside. Because if you just like, smash, that phone's broken forever now, the picture's obviously deleted, you've obviously not heard of like the cloud and the internet and stuff. Why introduce the mechanic dude and not have that pay off? So there's a whole bit where Mickey's wife, played by a lady, she walks into her business, she's running a garage, and she's all like, oh, bloody hell, why is that car not done? And someone else is all like, oh, the mechanic man, he's chatting to your bloody husband up in the office and slacking off work. So she goes up there and is like, oh, you, get to bloody work. And he's like, oh, okay, will do. And I assumed that when she was in a spot of bother in the garage later, he was going to be like, I'm here now, that's why you've introduced me. And he wasn't, he just didn't show up again. Bit weird. So rating out of 5 beers, give it a 3. I've come to the conclusion that written by, directed by and produced by is not a good sign in a film. Oh well.